Welcome, Tony. It's a pleasure to have you here in Lecce. And I just told the audience that you come from Copenhagen. I hope your journey was good. And
yes, it was quite good. I came here yesterday. I had a chance to actually see part also of the old town here in Lecce, and I can tell you the weather here is a lot better than it is in Copenhagen, where we have around 10 degrees this time of year. So it's been a pleasure so far, yes.
Okay. So now I have not introduced you to the audience, so maybe you want to introduce yourself. And you are not only a generic representative of the ECDL Foundation, but...
Yes, that's true. My name is Tony Franke. I am Danish, so that's why I live near Copenhagen, but I'm also the chairman of the board of the ECDL Foundation that is actually placed in Dublin in Ireland. But I'm not living there. I'm there for meetings, and I have my weekly meetings with our CEO. I've been working with ECDL actually for more than 20 years. We celebrate the 20th anniversary of ECDL this year. The ECDL Foundation was founded exactly 20 years ago in 1997. But I've actually been working with ECDL since 1995. It was originally a Finnish idea, and I was part of the group that of Scandinavian countries brought it to CPIS, and then also part of the group that out of CPIS founded the ECDL Foundation those 20 years ago.
Vi chiedo un applauso perché è il presidente di ECDL. Okay, so what is your vision now? We have seen the video about the first 20 years of ECDL. What's next? What is your vision for the next 20 years?
What's the story for the next 20 years? Exactly. My vision, I think, is best sort of expressed by the word relevance. So what we need to be doing also in the next 20 years is being relevant. We have been that for the first 20 years, because if we haven't, we wouldn't have sort of reached this stage after 20 years. And I can assure you that when we first started 20 years ago, many sort of said, you won't be here in 5 or 10 years. This is something that's relevant now for a very short period of time. But we have proven otherwise. So in my opinion, relevance is around the relevance of the actual content of our product. We're talking Syllabus 6.0 today. This is part of being relevant, but also relevance in the way we go to the market, the way that we offer that people can take the tests in schools might differ from business, and also the way that we do this today is different than what we used to do. And we need to be constantly thinking about what is relevant to the market. Let me give you an example. In the beginning, the ECDL was actually 7 set modules. So there were 7 modules, no more, no less. That was ECDL. But we launched 4 years ago the new ECDL, where we have a lot more flexible approach to things. And even though in the beginning the 7 set modules were quite successful, at a certain stage we realized if we want to stay successful, we must have a much more flexible approach to the market, offering to people to say not only this is what you should be doing, but also saying you can do this, but you decide yourself what modules you need. And we will offer to you to upskill you in a structured and proved and certified manner. So this is a very good example of the foundation developing itself and staying relevant. Actually, a lot of people are talking these days about disruption, and we see how Airbnb is disrupting the hotel market. We see how a taxi service like Uber is disrupting the taxi market. What we should definitely try and be focused on is not being disrupted by anyone. And I think actually, when I see about my experience for the last 20 years, that when we go like to schools, very often we are actually the ones disrupting. We are not the ones being disrupted. And this is my vision, that we should stay relevant. And I think relevance is the one word that encompasses what our focus should be. And this means also that we will have to continue developing and the Syllabus 6.0 is just one example of that, actually.
Yeah, but relevance is the key word you said, but I think it's challenging. We hear about digital natives, so young people using technologies from a very early age. So many people think about ECDL as something old, to be very open. So are office skills still useful for digital natives?
Absolutely. And I think this digital native fallacy, as we normally talk about it, call it, it's the thing that older people, like myself, start to thinking when you have young people. They are born with a smartphone in their hand, and they use a lot of different computers and iPads and all that. So therefore, they don't need any sort of education. But trust me, they do actually. And this is because what they are. We must remember what they are capable of. They are very good at social media. They are very good at Twittering and Facebook and whatever, but they are not good at spreadsheets. So and when they come into the workforce after what education they have taken, they are expected to be good at spreadsheets, good at word processing, good at presentations. Really, these are skills that are still heavily needed in the workplace, and they are not good at that. And trust me, I know. I have two sons at home. One is 19 and goes to the university. One is 16 and goes to secondary school. And they are so using all those devices so much, but they are not good at spreadsheets. And this is, and we must be. I mean, it's a tough argument, because everybody can see that young people, they are so natural with all those devices. But we must also dare to say, please remember, people, they are not good at all what is needed in the workforce. And also when you ask them, this is another thing, we have done surveys, when we ask young people about how good are you at this, they will tell you, I'm perfect. But they are not. And this is something that is it...
It's on.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, I'll try and speak more into it. No, but it's really, we must dare actually say to those people that say, well, young people don't need any sort of ECDL or anything like that. Well, really, they do. And as you say, ECDL is being considered old. Well, but this is like if Alfa Romeo produces an Alfa Giulietta, when you say Alfa Giulietta and you close your eyes, what car do you see? Do you see a car that's produced today, or do you see a car that's produced 30 or 40 years ago? The name is still the same, but the content is very different. We're talking about Syllabus 6.0. It's not, I mean, as a Giulietta of today is not the same as a Giulietta 40 or 50 years ago. ECDL, the name might be the same, but the content, it's not the same.
Okay. So now a more technical question. How does the ECDL Foundation decide on contents for new syllabi? So we have now a new Syllabus 6 now, but what is the process behind it? What?
Yes, that's actually quite a relevant question, in the way that the process includes all of our family. So it includes the test centers. We have more than 20,000 test centers throughout the world. It includes we have a product strategy group, also with Italian representation on it, and that group actually consists of people who are active. So they come to Dublin from time to time, and they discuss how things are developing, based on the input also that is given from the test centers, from the markets. So it's a process where we try and listen to what the market says. And this is really important, that the process is a more bottom-up process. It's not a top-down process. It's not that there is somebody sitting in their castle in Dublin thinking about how things work in the real world. It's really the market telling us how things should be, and then combined with the also expert knowledge represented in the product strategy group, making the decisions on what new modules and when to update, like for the next syllabus version.
Yeah. And does the ECDL Foundation look at schools in particular, or at companies in the workforce? What is the primary focus?
Actually, there is a parallel focus. Going back to the relevance thing or vision, we have parallel tracks on schools and on the workplace. So as we consider it relevant for both young people to actually learn to use those tools, then also in the workplace there is very much need for this. So we are not focusing on only one, we are focusing on both sort of areas of life.
Okay, very good. And now just one final question, and still a nasty question if you like. So what is the added value of ECDL compared with other certification proposals? We have global players such as Microsoft. We have here in Puglia a local player who claims to be international because they have operations in Albania and Kosovo. So what is the added value of ECDL compared to competitors?
Well, the clear added value, in my opinion, is that this is a truly worldwide operation. And again, going back to, as you say, how does the feedback come into like a new version, a new syllabus, or new modules? This is from all over the world. So this is a truly international product. On the other hand, it's a vendor-independent product. ECDL is basically vendor-independent. You can use the tool you want. You don't have to take like Microsoft or something specific. You can use whatever you want. And this is really, really important. Then there is another thing, and we've been here for 20 years, and trust me, we'll be here also in another 20 or 40 years. So when you take an ECDL, it's important, or if you want to upskill and take a certification, it should be important for you that you feel sure that in 5 years, the product would still be known, it will still be around. And trust me, the ECDL product will still be around in 5 years. It will be around in 20 years and in 40 years, as I said. So this is really important things. It's the vendor independent thing. It's actually so that it's tells that you've learned skills that are not necessarily linked to one product. It's a truly international basis, and it's the fact that ECDL will be around also in the future.
Okay. Thank you very much, Frank, Tony. Ecco, con questa intervista appunto abbiamo voluto dare solo un'anticipazione del fatto che nelle prossime settimane AICA distribuirà un programma dettagliato dei tempi di introduzione poi nel mercato italiano di questa nuova versione di ECDL. Verrà rilasciata nel primo semestre del 2018, ma riteniamo importante che sin d'ora si sappia che insomma, per il prossimo anno scolastico certamente avremo tutti da fare i conti con qualche aggiornamento nei contenuti dei moduli centrali della certificazione. Quindi ringraziamo ancora una volta Tony per essere venuto apposta fin da Copenaghen e torniamo poi, rendo la parola poi al nostro Presidente. Grazie ancora.
Thank you very much, Tony, for your witness. Is a significant witness. Grazie.